What's up, guys? Back today. I'm going to work on an RC today. A different one than the Bison. That's right. I have more than just the Bison. It just seems to be that I'm always working on the Bison because it breaks a lot. But today, I'm working on this, and I don't think I've shown you guys this yet. This is the HBX T6 two-wheel drive 1/6 scale buggy, and I've had it a little while now. I haven't done any run footage, but I will get some going probably soon. I'm going to take it out to a field, run it 6S, and see what it can do. But I got this on Banggood. It's about $500 right now. I was pretty hesitant about buying it because I don't have a whole bunch of money. That's why I buy a lot of these Chinese cheaper ones like the Bison over there and some of these other ones. But anyway, I was a little hesitant to buy it because I didn't know if it was going to be cheap or a piece of crap or whatnot. But it actually is super fun. It's really cool. Seems pretty durable. I haven't really broken much on it except for the spare tire that goes on back here that breaks on all of them from what I've seen on the internet on other videos. But anyway, it doesn't even matter. You can still drive it without it. It looks cool with it on there. I actually have the parts. I might replace them today and just get the tire back on there and just for looks sake. But man, it's a lot of fun. It runs 6S, got 160 amp ESC. I mean, this thing's a beast, man. Two-wheel drive, it throws up huge roosts. I wouldn't suggest driving it on the pavement too much. It's really hard to drive on the pavement. It's not a whole lot of fun, but you get in some grass or dirt and run it in a field or something, and man, it's a lot of fun, and it's big. It's about, wheels about the size of my hand, but it weighs about 20 pounds, and I guess for reference, here's a 1/8 scale buggy, so you put that on top of it, and you got a wheelbase of probably about 6 more inches, and yeah, it's big. This camera doesn't do it justice, but it's big. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. It was a good buy. I was pretty happy with it so far. And I really don't have a lot of complaints about it, except the servo, which is what I'm going to do today. It's got a 15 kilogram servo, and it's not as good as it needs to be. I mean, this is a 20-pound RC. The servo works. It's fine, I guess, but it's weak. So I figured I'd upgrade it. I like to upgrade stuff, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I got this here, Trackstar Evo T2, which I've heard about these Trackstars before. They're supposed to be pretty good, and pretty cheap relatively. This is a brushless motor, all metal gear, of course, metal casing. Looks cool. I like the way it looks. Digital brushless servo. It will also run on 7.2 volts, so you can crank it up and make it a little more powerful. It's a high voltage servo, so I'm going to put that in there. And it's at 7.2 volts, runs 24 and some decimal points of kilograms of strength or force or whatever you want to call it compared to the 15 kilograms. So hopefully that'll be enough. I'm a little worried that's not quite enough. I kind of wanted to hit 30 kilograms for this big thing, but what got me with this one is the speed, and at 7.4 volts it does 0.08 seconds, 60 degrees at no load. So that's pretty fast. I mean, that's not super fast, but it's pretty fast for a big RC like this. And this having the built-in gyro, I feel like it might make it handle a little better. And if you don't know what the built-in gyro is, it steers for you. Like if you're going sideways, it'll counter steer automatically. It tries to hold itself straight automatically, which is pretty handy in this thing. And I think it actually makes it more fun because you can really do some nice drifts and It's just a lot of fun. It's not a jumper. I wouldn't suggest jumping this thing too big. I have jumped it some, and it does okay. But it's more just, it's different than my other bashers and stuff. Like, you get this thing in an open field with some light jumps and light humps with a lot of space, and open it up, and it's pretty cool. It's a different experience than the basher, and it's a lot of fun. And I saw a video on there, RC Playground. He hit 70 miles an hour on the pavement in this thing. I don't know how he did it, because I've tried to, I get above 50 and I crash it every time. But so I like I said, it's tough on pavement. He put different tires on it, so that helped. But man, on the dirt and grass, gravel, sand, I mean, this thing is so much fun. It's really cool. But anyway, so I have it pretty much taken apart already, and then I realized after I got it all taken apart that it's like, wow, I've never seen anybody do a video on working on one of these. So I thought I just kind of pieced it back together, and I thought I'd like do a quick little tear down. Like, all the screws are out, but I can just explain that. There's no need to see all that. But figured I'd get it apart and get that new servo in and see how it does. Hopefully it'll be good. If not, I'll use it in something else and get a better one. But anyway, this track star is about $50. I got it on eBay, $50. I thought that was a pretty good price. So, all right. So anyway, I'll get a few things together and I'll get ready. I'll be right back. Alright, like I said, I got the screws out mainly, so I'll just show you where they are and what to do. I don't know. Anytime I work on RC, I always pull the tires off. So, take those off, set those aside, and that just gives you room. But anyway, just open the lid, and the servo is down in here, back in here somewhere, so you have to remove some stuff to get to it. It's pretty easy, but it's just body paneling. So first you remove this side body panel, and I just stuck a screw in there just to hold it in place. So it's got 4 screws, one right there, one right there, though mine's broken, so I don't even need to take that out, and then these 2 right here, and they just hold this little panel down. So pull that out. Alright, and then you got 4 screws. You'll do the other side, of course, but then there's 4 screws that hold this top panel down right here, 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 and here. So you pull those out, and that pops off. Then you got this, and you have to get it off by undoing 4 screws, 2 right here and here, 2 more right here and here. And it kind of goes underneath the dash here, so you have to pull the dash off, which is just 4 screws, 2 on each side, so right here and here. So you pull those 2 out, pull those 2 out. I actually pull the seats out just to get them out of the way. So you pull that out. That's where the batteries go, down in here underneath the seat. But then you pull those 4 screws out on the dash pulls out. And then you can take this thing off. Those screws are already gone. So you pull that off, and then you have pretty good access to it. Oh yeah, and this bar right here, 2 screws right here and here, and that just pops right off after that. So now I'm at the servo, and I already detached it, took the horn off. So pretty simple. It's pretty nice once you get under here. There's plenty of room. So to get this off, there's just 2 screws underneath the chassis. You pull from the bottom, and bam, there it is. The whole servo just comes right off. Here's the gyro, so I need to pull that off. I guess it's just taped down, so I'll just pull that off, just like that. And I'm going to make sure, and the servo connects to that, so I guess I need to keep a reference. Don't believe. Alright, so positive is going to be on the left side, it looks like. don't know if it tells you that or not, so you kind of have to remember. Okay, so I need to remember that it goes in like this. So you got your positive wire will be on the left if you're looking at it like that. So pull that off, and there it is, servo's gone. So just need to pull these brackets off, which I haven't done yet. And wow, that one was loose actually. Anyway, pull the brackets off. Pretty easy. I was hoping I could just kind of slide it out, but looks like I need to take them all the way out. And there we go. Those are out. Keep in mind how they go in. Wow, these things are kind of loose. It's another thing with these Chinese RCs. A lot of the screws are not tightened properly, so it's a good idea to go over the whole RC before you run it and just check all the screw tightnesses and any of the metal into metal screws to put Loctite on, because they don't do that when they put them together, and those will come loose. I did it to this one, but this doesn't have too many metal into metal screws. There are some over here to hold the engine cover on and stuff, which really aren't that important anyway, but it's good to put Loctite on all that stuff. And ones I did forget were the hub bolt or hub screws that hold the this little cross pin in that holds the axle nut on. So there's screws in every one of these, and I lost one. I just noticed it recently, so definitely want Loctite on those because they'll back out. But anyway, I got the servo off. This is the old one. It's still good, so I'm just gonna probably keep it. I don't know, maybe I'll use it for something else, but should be a pretty much direct swap out. But I'm going to get some more double-sided tape, get this gyro stuck to it. I believe this hooks into that like this. Yep. So, alright, I'm going to get the gyro stuck to it, get everything hooked up, and start kind of putting it back together, and we'll see how it works. Alright guys, I got the servo in right here. Did a little test. And I got it off. Everything seems to be working good. Not really that fast, but I guess still got to do the programming on the ESC, and it should move a little quicker and have a little more strength. But so far everything went smooth. I had to grind down the little pins on the servo holders here so they'd fit back through the chassis. I guess this servo is just slightly wider, but I just filed down the little pins and kind of got it stuffed in there and tightened down. I also had this blue servo alloy servo horn, so I went ahead and put that on there, and now I'm just going to wrap it up, get it all back together, get it on the ground. Let's do a little test. I did have to switch the directions, steering direction on the transmitter and the gyro direction to get it to turn the right ways, but I'm going to wrap it up, get everything back together, get it on the ground, and see how it turns, and then probably see how it feels before I turn up the amperage on the servo. The BEC is what it's called, and try it before and then try it after and see how big a difference it makes. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright guys, got it all back together. That's Test it out. And this is before I turn the BC up. And it does alright. Struggling, it's better than it was. Center's pretty good. Not bad. Alright, so that's the BEC turned down, and there's no manual for this ESC that comes with this, and I couldn't find one online. But I think it's a Max 8, basically. It's a Hobby Wing Max 8. The new Max 8 goes up to 8S. This one only goes up to 6, so this may be an older model, older version ESC or something. I'm not sure, but I have a Max 10 manual, and I've gone through all the programming, and there are 11 steps just like the Max 10. And here it says the 7th one is the BEC voltage, 6 volts to 7.4. So I'm going to give that a shot, and hopefully it's the same. It seems like everything else on there is the same from what I can tell. So to do that, hold the set button, transmitter on, hit power, wait, keep holding the set button. 1, there's 2, I'm waiting for 7, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, 6, 7, and then you let it off. And then it goes through, and there's 2 choices, 6 volt and 7.4 volts. So you hit the set button when it beeps on the right one. Or actually, I think, go through it. So now it's on 7.4. Yep, 2 clicks. And if I hit it again, it just goes back to 1. Yep. So here we go, and then once you set it, cut it off. Cut it back on. Fan's stronger. And it does seem faster. So cool. The fan's blowing harder, so that's a neat. Alright, so it's ready to go. I'm going to go test run it. I might videotape some of it, but I'll try to get a video up of this thing soon. Take care, guys.